Dear as so today I'm planning for tax management. Yes, tax management is eternal easy one, easy topic. But the thing is, you have to learn the provisions. That is very important. 10 questions, not less than 10 questions, will be asked from the area tax management. So I will tell what are the things that will be area. I will tell the area where you should be focused so that you could be able to answer the questions. Nothing difficult. Even all the things are dumped in my materials. Nothing is left to cover the area, which are very important for your examination. What are the area? I told the salary income. As you know, in the case of income tax, the two tax systems. One is direct tax, another one is indirect tax. In the case of direct tax, say for example, income tax, gift tax, wealth tax, uh, especially they will ask questions from income tax. They will ask question from the income tax. So five heads. There are five heads, as you know, five heads. One is salary income, house property income, profit and gains, capital gains, income from other source. So I have to say what are the out of the income, five income, which is very important. I have to say. So regarding salary income, they will ask questions from the house rent allowance, transport allowance, conveyance allowance, children education allowance. So kindly note. So before so that I will cover those areas. Only thing is you have to know the provisions. That is very important. The provisions you should be able to understand. That is very important. What is the way of preparation? You have to note the things in your diary. So whenever you are suppose if you are watching the TV or if you are, so you have to revise provisions. That is a good way of preparing this kind of income tax act 1961. So take it in a happy way of learning. That will be not a, a difficult one. So in that way, your preparation will not be difficult one. It will be a happy learning. I told. Okay. So regarding allowance, I told HRA very important. Children education allowance, conveyance allowance. These are all very important. Next, the perquisites in kind. So the employer giving the service or the goods at free of cost. So that is in kind. Okay, that is coming under the head perks. Regarding perks, car perks, they will ask questions regarding perquisites in the form of car. Another one is in perquisites. Another important area is they will ask questions from the rent-free house. Rent-free house. So in case of the 5 lakh population, what will be the tax they will ask? Then coming to house property income, there are two types of income. One is rental income, another one is self-occupied house. But nowadays in your examination, they are focusing on self-occupied house. So self-occupied house means always your answer would be negative. Always your answer would be loss. So no positive. Always your loss. Negative. I told you no loss. So that is the second area. Third area, capital gain. Uh, two types of capital gain. One is STCG, short-term capital gain. Another one is long-term capital gain. So the gain which are added within the assets, short-term assets. That is, you are holding the assets for within 1 year, more than 1 year, long-term capital. Okay, so that is very important. Then profit and gains. You should know the what are the different allowable expenses, disallowable expenses. Those things are important. Then finally, income from other source. So in the case of income from other source, the gift income. The questions will be asked regarding the gift income. Also, the casual income. They will ask question regarding casual income. So for casual income, 30% is the tax. Also, what are the items coming under casual income? So even I will tell in a detailed way, but my intention is you have to know the familiarity of the concept. That is very important. The familiarity, you should have the idea about the concepts. So casual income, lottery income, crossword puzzle, all are coming under casual income. Then after this salary income, what you have to know, very important, the tax evasion and the tax avoidance. That is very, very important. Tax evasions and tax avoidance. Very important. That will be asked in your examination. Which are the following transaction is a tax evasion, a tax avoidance. I told you tax evasion is illegal, tax avoidance is legal. You are obliging the rules and regulations, the provisions of Income Tax Act. By the way, you are both are reducing the tax. Both the tax evasion and tax avoidance are coming under mitigating the tax, reducing the tax. Whereas the tax evasion is illegal, tax avoidance is legal. That is very, very important. After that, what you have to focus, the deduction. Very, very, very important. I'll say none of your question paper will be asked without this area. The deduction from 80C, the savings, to the 80U handicapped 80U. So 80C to 80U, we should be well prepared. Maybe asked in the mass time. After that, you should know the corporate tax. Corporate tax. I will say what are the items you have to prepare regarding corporate tax. After corporate tax, LLP, limited liability partnership. Okay, so these are all the areas you have to know. You have to prepare in your examination. So the questions will be direct, especially in other area. They will ask some difficult questions. These are all the base. These are all the ways you have to achieve the target. I told you, at least you have to answer 50 questions. Right answer. That the target you have to fix. Suppose if you couldn't able to answer below your answer is below 40, you are in the trouble. So 50, you have to uh, I told income tax is one of the area that will contribute for your exam. The questions will be direct, nothing in a difficult way. They will ask only direct. Say they will ask what is the exemption limit for 80E interest on higher education loan. What is the limit? They will ask. Okay, so like this, they will ask only direct question. So the answer is unlimited. There is no limit for 80E. The answer is like answer the questions. Okay, so this is my going through the topic. So my intention is the aspirants should have the idea of the topic. Otherwise, it will be boring. So it will not up to your level of understanding. Okay. Friends, could you able to see the document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. So these are all the types of tax system. So regressive tax. Regressive tax means what? Low income, high tax. That is regressive. If your income is going down, you have to pay more tax. That is a regressive tax system. Proportional tax system. Under this system, the individual have to pay the tax based on their income. So the rate will not be changing. Unlike now we are having that slab, you are having slab. So two regime are that very very important. Two regime. You should know the old regime and the new regime. I think even you have return. You have to file the return. So in the case, you should know what are the different filing of return. So as a salary earner, which return you have to file? So ITR 1 is there, ITR 2 is there, ITR 3 is there, ITR 4 is there. In the case of trust, you have to use ITR 4. Like that, my question is, you are a salary earner. So which income tax return you can use? Very important, and I'm saying these are all the question compulsorily they are asking. So what is their intention? The aspirant should know the things. That is a reason they are asking this type of questions. Okay, ITR is the answer. If the salary earners, they have to file ITR 1. Suppose if you are having more
Excuse
than
me,
2 hours, yes, ma'am.
sir, your
Yes,
voice
ma'am.
is not audible in between, sir. Like it's getting cut off at
My voice
times.
is breaking, ma'am.
Yes, yeah, voice is
Okay,
breaking, sir.
breaking, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Now, ma'am, now the trouble persists or it's okay
Like
for you?
it is coming, like it's
Uh,
breaking in between. So at times it is
oh,
happening like that. So speaking in a line, like somewhere
okay,
there
ma'am.
is a drop of your voice, so we are not able to hear you.
Okay, okay,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir.
What now, ma'am? Now, okay, ma'am. Now, okay, or
Now it's fine. It's fine now, sir. I cannot hear now. Oh my god.
Now, ma'am, now it is audible, ma'am, or still problem, ma'am?
It's
Hello.
clear now, sir.
Now clear, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you,
If
sir.
if there is a problem, you kindly tell, ma'am. If there is any more
Yes, I will do.
more breaking in my voice, kindly tell, ma'am. Then only it will be useful, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So the tax structure may be this type. First, I told no, it may be regressive. Regressive means reverse. Low income, higher tax. Higher income, low tax. Proportional tax means what? No slab rate. No slab rate. Same tax. Same tax for all income. 10% means you have to pay 10%. Even your income is 1 lakh, even your income is 1 crore. So that is proportional tax. Progressive means now we are using progressive only. So more income, more tax. As you know, up to 2,50,000, no tax. In the case of old regime, up to 2,50,000, no tax, 0%. Whereas in the case of new regime up to 3 lakh, no tax. So this is only progressive. So more income, more tax. The slab rate. Okay. So coming to the slab rate, uh, as you know, up to 2 lakh 50,000, no tax. 2 lakh 50,000 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. So this is a old regime. New regime we should know. So for a new regime, I have to tell before that what is important. If he is a senior citizen 3 lakh up to 3 lakh zero, no tax. If it is a super senior citizen means what? Above 80 years. These are all the questions they will touch. So up to 5 lakh no tax. Up to 5 lakh no tax for super senior. That is above 80 years. I'm coming to tell about new regime. I have to say about the new regime from the financial year. From the financial year 2024, your up to 3 lakh no tax. Up to 3 lakh no tax. 3 lakh to 5 lakh 5%. 5 lakh to 7.5 lakh 10%. 7 lakh 7.5 lakh to 10 lakh 15%. It's very simple, nothing difficult. Two and a half lakh you have to add. And in the tax rate, 5%, 5% you have to add. So in the left hand side, 2.5 lakh. You have to add 2.5 lakh. In this way, you have to increase the slab. And in the right hand side, 5%, 5%. So nothing difficult. And the surcharge very important. Up, your income is 50 lakh, 10% surcharge. What is surcharge? Additional tax. So cess. So cess is common. Cess means what? Cess is also an additional tax, but it was paid only. Cess is paid by all the assessee, all the assessee. Whereas in the case of surcharge, it will be paid by specific assessee. So surcharge and cess will be additional tax. That you should know. Surcharge up to 50 lakh 10%, 1 crore, above 1 crore 15%.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
sir, please once again you repeat it, sir. 3 lakh to 5 lakh, sir. How much percent, sir? Tax rate?
Only 5%, sir.
5%,
5%.
sir. 5 lakh to
5%, sir.
7.50,000, 15%, sir.
10%, sir.
10%.
5%. Multiples of 5.
Sir,
Multiples of 5. Multiples of 5. Yes,
answer,
sir.
presently, sir, okay, sir, okay. It's okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Right. So Very simple, sir. Nothing difficult. So these are all the questions they will ask in your examination. So don't worry. Even you can write. Even you can write. So up to 2.5 lakh old regime. Up to 0 to 2.5 lakh 0%. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh 5%. 5 lakh to 10
Sir,
lakh.
sir, sir,
Uh, yes,
sir.
sir.
New resume, sir. New resume.
New regime, nothing
Hmm.
difficult, sir. In the
Hmm.
left hand side, you add a 2.5 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 2.5 lakh, sir. So add a 2.5 lakh, sir. In the right hand side, 5% multiples of 5. Clear, sir. So that is new regime. Again, I am telling up to 3 lakh. So you have to see the basic stuff. Very important. Regarding old regime, up to 2,50,000 zero. Regarding a new regime, up to 3 lakh is zero. In this point, you should be very, very specific. So that is a thing in the case of act. That is a thing in the case of even companies act. So even I had to say the lab legal aspect of business. So regarding acts, you should know the points. Otherwise, you couldn't. You have to memory. Nothing, no other way. So you have to memorize the point. That is the thing I told you. You have to write the points whenever you are free. Just have a glance. That is a good way of preparation. So if you are suppose if you are going if you are going for a walk, just revise the point. Just revise the point. That way you can reinforcement is very important. Especially the thing is income tax. Yes, out of my repeatedly I have cleared the net examination. So out of my experience, I am telling. So accountancy income tax contributing more for my marks. So it's only subjective. I'm not insisting my methods. It's only subjective. Why I'm saying in other area, even we couldn't able to trace out where they are asking the question, from which area they are asking the question. In the that way they are framing the question. Whereas in the accountancy, also in research methodology, yes, the questions are very direct. Nothing manipulation or any difficulty of asking question. It's very direct. So that's the reason why I'm saying in this area you can able to manage. Okay, so it's only subject. I'm not pushing you to come to my side, my idea. uh, okay, so up to 3 lakh 0, 3 to 5 lakh 5%, 5 lakh to 2.5 lakh, add 2.5 lakh. So 5 to 7.5 lakh 10%, 7.5 to 10 lakh 15%, 10 lakh to 12.5 lakh 20%, 12.5 lakh to 15 lakh 25%, and above 15 lakh 30%. But it will be same new regime or old regime. Above 15 lakh 30%, that will be common. Whether you are that is only option, no compulsion. It is only option. You can go for the tax rate of old regime or new regime. But my in order to for my satisfaction, I have to ask one question. So what is the difference between old regime and new regime? Why the government imposing the two structures? What is the uh, advantage? What are the difference? Old regime and new regime. Can you say so that I
Sir,
will have the yes,
in the
ma'am.
new
Please,
regime,
ma'am.
we don't have any deductions, like 80, no deductions at all. But in the old regime, we have a lot of deductions, so we can claim ATC, the 80 deductions. In the new regime, we have till 3 lakh, we have no tax. But in old regime, we had only up to 2.5 was not we no, it was not liable to tax. So these are the two differences that I pointed out.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly. So I salute for your involvement. Yes, sir. But one thing I'm adding. The very important basic standard deduction, ma'am, 50,000. So the 50,000 you can have, you can have, you can have six. Telling section 16. So standard deduction section 16. You can have in the case of old regime 50,000. But in the case of new regime, you can't have any standard deduction. So that benefits are there. So straight away you can pay the tax. Suppose if your income is 20 lakhs, straight away you can pay the tax. No need of any production of any proof, any need of any savings. No need. Straight away you can pay the tax. So straight away, monthly you can pay, deduct the tax. No need of submission of any proof. But in the case of old regime, you have to show the proof for deductions. As ma'am's told, you can avail the deduction in the form of standard deduction, section 16. Also, you can have the deduction in the form of the allowances, HRA. You can have allowances, section 10. You can avail the deduction. Also, the star deductions, 80C2, 80U, I told you, no, 80C2. So that benefits are that. Whereas in the case of new regime, it will be more breakups. But in the old regime, three. Okay. So that difference you should know. Very important. Surcharge, very important. 50 lakh, 10%. So repeatedly they're asking. The confusion may be arise only at the examination hall. While preparation, no confusion, but after entering into the examination hall, the confusion will be there. So that is the reason why you have to prepare in a clear-cut manner. Clear-cut ideas are very much needed. Otherwise, you can that problem will be that you can lose marks. So you have to prepare in a without any ambiguity. That is very important. If they are asking what is the surcharge above 1 crore, 15%. At the examination hall only the confusion will be coming, whether 10 or 15. That confusion will be, that is their success. So the way of questioning, that is their success. But we have to manage, very important. Okay. Then I told the items. Then also you can have the rebate of 87A, rebate 87A. That is enough. We don't worry other things. Rebate 87A. Who can avail the rebate? Rebate means the deduction. So what is who is eligible? Which assessee is eligible? His income 5 lakh, less than 5 lakh. Is income, taxable income. I'm not telling the gross income, gross total GTI. I'm not telling GTA. Taxable income. So if his taxable income is not exceeding 5 lakh, yes, you can avail the rebate. You can avail the rebate. No tax will be paid. So 2,50,000 exempted. Beyond that, your taxable income 5 lakh, no tax. You need not pay the tax. The rebate will be available. 87A. 87A. The section you should know. Match type, they will ask the question. Okay. This is for companies, I told you, 15%. 15% is the tax rate that you have to keep in your mind. Okay. So this is for surcharge. Surcharge 1 crore, 7%, 10 crore, 12%. Okay. I told you, ITR1 for a salary, ITR1 for salary, ITR2 is for what? Kindly note, ITR2 for HUF, Hindu Undivided Family, ITR2. ITR3, kindly note, ITR3, profession. Don't worry about the thing. Simply you have to note the keyword. ITR3 for profession, the business or a profession. ITR3. ITR4, I told. ITR4, otherwise known as Sugam, filing return. Sugam. So the form name is Sugam, ITR 4. So who will who will file the ITR 4? Partnership firm HEF, HEF, Hindu Android Family, ITR 4, ITR 5, AOP, LLP, limited liability partner. For your understanding, I'll say what is LLP. LLP means a combination of company and firm partnership. It's a mix. It's a combination of both. You can have the future of partnership, also the future of company. That is LLP. So ITR 5, AOP, ITR 5. Then ITR 6 companies. ITR 6 companies. ITR 7, the company, but it is coming under the section 139. ITR 7, same company, covering under the section 139 4A. Whereas ITR 6 is company only, but not coming under the section. Not coming under the section. The thing is, they are not coming under the charity. So charity, not coming under the charity. Okay. So 7 ITRs are there. Repeatedly they're asking, very important. So if I'm saying about ITR force, what is coming in your mind? HEF. So if I'm saying ITR 1, ITR 4 is otherwise known as what I told, Sugam. In that way you have to prepare. Next one is I will give a few idea about the residential status. Section 6, subsection 1, subsection 6, non-resident, section 2, subsection 30. Why I'm saying the sections? Yes, they will ask the sections in match type. So never we have to put effort not to understand the sections, not to memorize the sections. No other way. Okay, friends. So I'll say what is a resident. So it is very somewhat a lengthy one. I will give in a short form. If a problem in understanding, you can say again. I will repeat. I'm not hesitate to repeat the point. I'm always ready to repeat the important points. Okay. So residential status, as you know, coming under the section 6, first point. My first point, section 6. What is the residential status? 3 category: ordinary resident, not a ordinary resident, non-resident. So 3 categories are there. Ordinary resident, section 6, subsection 1. Not ordinary resident, section 6, subsection 6. Non-resident, section 2, subsection 30. I think if the teacher fraternity involving in teaching IT, they will know the points what I am saying. You can easily grasp my point. Okay.
Sir, can you just repeat the sections, please?
Section 6.1, ordinary resident, ma'am. Section 6.6, not ordinary resident. Section 230, 2 subsection 30, non-resident, ma'am. Non-resident is not a resident. Okay. I will say the ordinary resident. Kindly note, ordinary resident means what? He is fulfilling the basic condition 1B. 1B means what? One of the basic condition. 2A. 2A means what? Two additional condition. A or A. All of the additional condition. Only 2 conditions are there. So all of the additional condition. Then you will be called as ordinary resident. Could you able to understand? Again, I am saying, who is ordinary resident? Ordinary residence means you have to pay the tax. You have to pay the tax. So that is the purpose of categorizing the resident. So who will pay the tax? So ordinary resident will have to pay for all the incomes. Nothing will be left out. No exemptions. You have to pay the income for all the category of income. But some exemptions are there for non-dis, not on NOR, also for NR, non-resident. So that is the reason why we are categorizing. For the taxability purpose only, we are categorizing the residential status. So ordinary resident, not a ordinary resident, non-resident. So who is ordinary resident? I told if a person satisfies one of the basic condition and both of the additional condition, he will be called as ordinary resident. I'm saying, even it will be everything in my notes. But why I'm saying, even if you are hearing one time, it will be stored in your minds. So that is the reason why repeatedly I'm saying everything, all the things I'm saying now, that will be texted. So that you don't worry whether anything left out in the notes, that that doubt will not be that will not be there. Okay, so everything will be texted. Okay, what about not a ordinary resident? Not a ordinary resident means is satisfying only the basic condition, one of the basic condition, and one or none of the additional condition, one or none of the additional condition. So I told additional condition is a compulsory one. So you have to fulfill both of the additional conditions. Even you are fulfilling one, that is not useful. So now NOR, not a ordinary resident means what? He fulfills one of the basic condition and none of the additional condition. Even one or none, he will be coming under the category of NOR. Who is non-resident, even he couldn't able to fulfill the satisfies the basic condition, he will be called as non-resident. He couldn't able to satisfy the basic condition, then he will be called as non-resident. Okay. Now I am going to say, I told repeatedly I am using the word condition, condition. So what is that condition? So now I have to say. So what is basic condition? 182 days in the previous year. A person living in India for a period of 182 days during the previous year. During the previous year. That is a basic condition 1. So I will say, don't worry, friends. What is previous year? I will say. So two years are there. Previous year, assessment year. You don't worry. I will tell what is previous year, what is assessment year. I will tell. Okay. So for your information, previous year means that you are earning the income, the year in which you are earning the income, you are receiving the income, that will be the previous year.
Can you come here to the room? Of course. Thank you. Can you open your television? Of course. I open in here.
Okay. Okay. So if you are receiving the income, the year in which you are receiving the income is known as previous year, and the year in which you are paying the tax is known as assessment year. So that is assessment year, section 2 subsection 9. So that is assessment year, section 2 subsection 9, assessment year. Previous year, section 3. So the year in which you are earning the income. Suppose what is the previous year? Now what is the previous year? Can you say? Now what is the previous year? What is the assessment year? Can you say? What is the present previous year?
2022 to 3, sir.
Very good, ma'am. Assessment year, ma'am.
23 to 4, sir.
Very good, ma'am. Very good, ma'am. Very good, ma'am. So, what is the basic condition? I'm saying, basic condition A. A person living in India for a period of 182 days during the previous year. 182 days. 182 days during the previous year. Or, I told anyone Basic condition means anyone, either or. So that's the reason why I'm saying two, condition two. A person living in India for a period of 60 days during the previous year and and 365 days during four preceding previous year. For preceding previous year. So that is basic condition two. Again, I'm telling 182 days during the previous year. That is basic condition one or basic condition two. What is basic condition two? You should be in India for a period of 60 days during the previous year. Plus, also you should live in India for a period of 365 days during preceding previous year. Preceding previous year means what? 2021, 22, 2021, 19, 20, and so the previous 97, 98. So relevant to previous year, four preceding years you should live in India for a period of 365 days, 1 year. So this is a basic condition. I'm saying about additional condition. So what is the additional condition that we have to keep in our mind? So additional condition, seventh, always I'm saying additional condition means always what is coming in your mind. In the additional condition, you will not see the previous year. You will not see the previous year. Then which year you can see? You can see only the preceding previous year. So always in the additional condition, you should not see the year, so see the days of living during the previous year. You have to see only the stay of India during the preceding previous year, before previous year, like 21, 22, 2021, like that. You have to see 98, 99. You have to check. So that is additional condition. So now I am going to say the additional condition. Additional condition one, a person living in India for a period of 730 days during 7 preceding previous year. 7 preceding previous year. Next, and I told you, no, and additional condition means compulsory. No choice, no choice. You have to fulfill both condition. Condition A, condition B. Additional means and, no option. It is a compulsory one. So what is the additional condition two? Additional condition two, a person resident for at least 2 years out of 10 preceding previous year. So a person should be a resident. Should be a resident means what? He should be living in India for a period of 182 days. So 182 days means he is a resident. So you should live in India for a period of 182 days for how many years? At least 2 years out of the 10 preceding previous year. 10 preceding previous year. So that is a compulsory one. That is 2003 to 4, 2003, 2003 to 4 till 2022, 23. So preceding 10 years. So you should not take for your calculation. You should not take the year 22, 23. I told you, know, in the additional condition, you should not take the year 22, 23. Preceding previous year means what? You have to take 21, 22, 20, 21, like that. Okay. Right. So these are the basic things you should know. They will ask in your examination. Right. What is the purpose? I told you, know, what is the purpose? If any income which is relevant to India, yes, all the category will pay the tax relevant to India. If any income accrued, arised, deemed, anything, it should be paid tax. All category, all category. If you are seeing the hint relevant to India, any income arised out of the India, any income deemed to be arised in India, any income received in India. So whatever may be the keyword, if it is relevant to India, that will be paid by all category. Even it is a OR, NOR or NR. Any category, you have to pay the tax. Taxable, taxable, taxable. But if any business set up in India, the business is in India, but controlled from outside. What is the keyword I am saying? Controlled from outside. Controlled means what? The management in outside of India. The management was set up outside of India. So if it is controlled, okay, I will tell once again. I will tell once again. See, the business set up outside of India, but the control in India. The business is controlled in India. That is a keyword. Controlled in India. If you are seeing the word controlled in India, then taxable, taxable, not taxable. That means what? Not taxable means what? That income will not be taxable to non-resident. The keyword what I am saying, again I am saying the keyword. What is the keyword? Set up the business controlled in India. So that is the keyword. The business set up outside of India, but controlled in India. Even I am saying, the business may be at Canada, but the management will be from India. Then taxable, taxable, not taxable. And next one is income received outside of India. Outside of India means taxable, not taxable, not taxable. Tax. So again, I'm saying taxable, not taxable. Income received outside of India, taxable, not taxable, not taxable. So I'm expecting this question in your examination. So that is the reason why again I'm saying. Okay. So and finally, any unpassed taxed income. Unpassed taxed income means what? Suppose if you are receiving the income in the year at Canada, you have received the income in the year 2021. That income was brought to India. You are bringing that income in the current financial year. That means no way it is taxable. No way it is taxable. So any past income you are bringing to India, then it is not taxable. So the keyword past untaxed income. The keyword past untaxed income. No way taxable. Not taxable. Not taxable. Not taxable. So again, I'm saying income received in India, accrued in India. Accrued means what? Accrued means what? I will give you example. Suppose a piece of land at Kolkata that was disposed, and the income was received at the buyer at Canada. You are receiving the income at Canada. That means the income accruing only in India. You are selling the land at India only, but the income received outside of India. That means it is only accrued in India only. The piece of land located in India only. So that is accrued. So anything relevant to India, taxable, taxable, taxable. Outside in India, taxable, not taxable, not taxable. So the keyword I'm saying that you have to keep in your mind. But another thing I have to say, sometimes they will ask if he is a member of ship crew. Ship crew means what? The member of ship crew, the group, the ship crew. If a person is a member of ship crew, condition one. Condition two, Indian origin. Indian origin means what? His forefather will be born in India. Indian origin. Indian origin means his grandma, great grandma or grandpa will be in India. They will be in India, but that associate will be born at Canada or USA somewhere. Okay, so that is Indian origin. Indian origin. B. C. The person going for the first time to abroad for the purpose of job. So a person lives in India, a person lives in India for the purpose of job. So these three category of person, you should not take the condition 60. I told one condition, B condition, basic condition B, that will not be applied. You have to apply only what that is 60 will be replaced by 182 days. You have to see only 182 days. You should not see 60 days. Again, I am telling, Indian origin comes to India. Condition A. Next condition. A person leaves India for a purpose of approved job. B. A member of ship crew. In these three categories, you should not see 60 days. You should not say 60 days. You have to check only 182 days. Correct. So that is the exceptional case. Okay. I told these are the things I told. 180 days or more, minimum 180 days or 365. I told 365 days or 4 years during the 4 years. This I told. Indian citizen who leave the country or a member of a ship crew for the purpose of employment or Indian origin. These are all the things I already told. So residential status very important. Okay. These are all the allowances. I told the salary income. You have to the three elements are there: basic salary, allowances. Second one is perquisites. Third one is profit in lieu of salary. So in profit in lieu of salary will be the profit in lieu of salary, the gratuity, pension, retrenchment compensation. So four elements are there. Okay. So this is a format. This is a format for computing the salary income. So what is the format? Basic salary, add all taxable allowances, add a perquisites, you will get the gross salary. In that gross salary, you have to deduce a deduction. I told how much I told. According to section 16, what is the deduction I told? What is the quantum of deduction? Can you say? What is the standard deduction?
50,000.
Very good, ma'am. 50,000. And professional tax. You are paying tax on employment. The municipality you are paying tax, professional tax. Then entertainment allowance. These all the three deduction you can have. These all the three deduction. But for examination point of view, I have to ask one question. Entertainment allowance it will not be entertained availed to all the employees. It is available only to which category of employees? Can you say?
Government employees.
Very good, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am. It will be available only to government employees. Section 16, subsection 3. Available only to the government employees. Okay. What is the limit, ma'am? Can you say how much limit? What is the
5,000.
limit? Ah,
5,000.
excellent, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am. So I think majority of the aspirants are having a good idea, a good preparation. I think so. So good preparation in IT. Okay. So I'll tell the rule. 1/5 of your basic salary. You should not take allowances. 1/5 of the basic salary. 1/5 or 20%. Both are same. So 1/5 of basic salary or 5,000 or actual entertainment allowance, whichever is least. Always in the tax, we have to take only whichever
Least
is
amount.
least. We have to
Least.
take only the least. So maybe it will be asked if you are. I am saying while I'm taking this income tax, I will think in your side whether I'm telling too many things, whether it is receivable up to your understanding or not. So that is the reason why I'm not dumping too many things. But no other way for getting marks. Yes, you have to learn the provisions. You have to learn the provision. That too, I am pinpointing the area. If you are neglecting the area, that will be trouble. Uh, so be focused on income tax. So always, even I'll share the 23 question paper. The questions are very easy one, especially in income tax. Straight questions, not any indirect question. But in other area, especially in management, they will ask something very, very, very beyond your understanding. I'm not threatening you. Management, they will ask something, the upcoming area, they will like a whistleblower. Like that, there are some terminologies. So even the teacher with experience, a vast experience, they couldn't able to touch the question. In that way, they are. So this is a strategy. The some paper you are focusing. Yes, it will be easy. So salary income, I told. House property income, I told. House property income. So then five heads, I told. So after adding, you will get the GTI. In that GTI, five heads, I told, five heads. Out of five heads, you have to add. So this is a format. After adding the five heads, you will get GTI. GTI means before taxable income. So you have to compute the gross taxable, GTI, gross total income. In that, you have to reduce the deduction 80C to 80U. This is taxable income. In this taxable income, you have to compute this, apply the slab. I told the slab, again, I am telling the slab up to 2.50, 2.5 to 5%, 5 to 10 lakh, uh, 20, yes, 20%, above 15 lakh, 30%. You have to pay 30% tax. So 30% will be common. It will be common for a new regime and the old regime. Surcharge, I told. Above 50 lakh, 10% you have to pay the surcharge. So cess 4%. Cess means a specific purpose. 4% specific purpose. They will use only for education and higher education. So 3 plus 1%, 4%. PAN as permanent account number. So always the taxpayer will be identified by the 10 digit, 10 alpha and numeric, alpha and numeric. 10. How many numeric can you say? Out of the 10, how many will be a number? In your PAN, how many digit will be a number? How many will be a number? Can you say? I told 10 digit, The last letter will be your name. Suppose my name Vijay Chandran means my PAN will be end with V. V. Before your digit, your letter will be V. So how many digit can you say? So out of the 10, 4 will be numeric, 6 will be alpha. Okay, coming to the salary income, the basic salary I told, I will be going to the allowances. This I already told. Entertainment allowance I told only for the government employee 5,000, 20% of the one fifth of the basic only, and actual EA. These all things I told. Okay, and next allowances. Three types of allowances are there. Some allowances are fully taxable, no exemptions. Some allowances are partly taxable. Some allowances are fully exempted. Fully exempted. So don't worry about the fully exempted. Fully exempted, only two items coming. What is that? Fully exempted means no tax, zero. You have to pay zero tax for fully exempted. Only two, no worry about the fully exempted. Other allowances may be coming under the partly or fully taxable. So the fully exempted will be foreign allowances. Foreign allowances. Suppose if you are deputed to foreign countries, you are getting the allowances. So that will be fully exempted. And HRA received by the judges. HRA received by the judges, that will be exempted. Any allowances are received by the judges, MLA, MPs, member of parliament, that will be exempted. House rent allowances, that will be fully exempted. But otherwise, your allowances will be either coming under the partly or fully taxable. It will be subjected to tax. So let me explain what are the few important items coming under the fully taxable. DA, your DA, based on the inflationary index, based on the price level changes, you will be hiked with the DA. Your salary will be attached with the price level changes in inflationary index. So cost of inflationary index. Okay, DA, DNS allowance, entertainment allowance, wartime allowance, marriage allowance, tiffin allowance, CCA, city compensatory allowance. Suppose if you are living in Delhi, Kolkata, like that, a capital city, you will be paid with allowance, fully taxable only. This I told you, know, tiffin allowance, lunch, all are coming under a tiffin meals for cashier. All are coming under fully taxable, but partly taxable, very important. House rent allowance, very, very important. So kindly note house rent allowance. If you are living in DMKC, that is Delhi, Mumbai,
50%.
Kolkata, Chennai. Ah, yes, ma'am. Very good, ma'am. 50% of salary. If you are living in non-metropolitan city, if you are living in non-metropolitan city, 40% of salary. Or excess of rent paid over 10% of salary. That means what I'm saying, rent paid by the assessee minus 10% of salary or actual HRA. But one thing here, the difficult thing is you have to know the salary. Salary means everything. Even you are getting a small piece of thing, the small thing you are receiving from your employer, that will be accounted as salary. Any, even you are receiving any small thing, that will be a salary. If you are receiving any fees, if you are receiving any club fees, if you are receiving any gas, if you are receiving any water can for your house, that will be treated as a salary. So what is the salary meaning here? So here in the case of HRA, the meaning of salary will be basic salary, the basic one, plus DNS allowance enters. Enters means what? That will be accounted for your pension. So the DA enters plus commission, not all commission, commission on turnover. So commission will be linked with your performance. That commission only taken into account. So salary means only this three: basic, DA, commission on turnover achieved. So this is the meaning of the salary. In that salary only you have to count, you have to measure the 50% or 40%. So that calculation depends. So 50% where DMKC, metropolitan, non-metropolitan 40%. So very important. Maybe sums will be asked because 2 hours will be allowed, you know. So for 2 hours, they will give some problems also in order to. Otherwise, that now for the purpose of consumption of time, they will do. Okay. Next, this is partly taxable allowance. Then HRA, I told you should not living in your own house. If you are living in your father house, you can't able to claim the HRA. You have to live in the rented house. That is
Let out.
very important. Rented, ma'am. Rented house. You have to living in the rented house, ma'am. You have to pay rent. That is very important. Also, you should not claim the deduction 80 GG. 80 GG for rent. 80 GG for rent. If you are not claiming HRA, then you can claim 80 GG under deduction. But if you are claiming HRA, you couldn't able to. You are not eligible. You are not eligible for claiming 80 GG. Entertainment allowance, I told. Entertainment allowance, special allowance, all are coming under partly taxable. And children education allowance, as you know, 100 children education allowance, 100 per month. Hostel allowance, 300 per month. So that is a rule. So what is the number of children? For how many
Two
children you can?
children.
Two. That is the rule, ma'am. Two, not more than two.
Yes.
But there are some rule,
After
ma'am.
two,
There are some rule, ma'am.
up to
In
two.
the case of first issue, one children. In the case of second issue, three or more children. Yes, you can avail the deduction, ma'am. Yes, you can avail the deduction. So in this way, they will ask questions. Suppose yes, for one children, then one children, only two children. You can avail only for two children. Whereas in some cases, you can avail for more than two children. Where I told in the first issue, one baby. The second issue, three baby or four baby like that. No limit. You can avail the allowances. You can avail the allowance for more than uh, two children. Whereas in the first issue itself, two children, you can't able to avail the for next. So that this all the things they will ask whether you are very fluency in the provisions. So they will ask. Okay, hostel allowance I told you 300 per child. The same case, two children up to a limit of two children. That is 4,200. 300 into 2 into 12, 4,200, correct? Okay, so same case. Okay, non-taxable allowance I told foreign allowance, the HRA for judges I told. And okay, so how much for transport allowance, can you say how much is exempted for transport allowance for transport employees?
Expense,
How much
actual
exempted, ma'am?
expenses allowed. Actual
uh,
expenses occurred, incurred.
Ma'am,
Sir,
transport, ma'am.
3,200.
uh,
3,200 per month. Per month.
transport, ma'am, 1,600. Transport, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Uniform actual expenditure, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Eh, Okay, ma'am. Tribal area allowance 300, ma'am. I told you, no, ma'am. Transport allowance 1,600. I told you, no, ma'am. Here it is texted, ma'am. 1,600. So transport allowance 1,600. Uh, compensate allowance also I told tribal area allowance 300 per month. So pension after employment, pension for after employment. So kindly note pension, gratuity or leave salary, all are taxable. The exemption limit only they will ask in your examination. Very important. What is the exemption limit for gratuity? Repeatedly they are asking. Section 1010. What is the exemption for statutory limit? What extent it will be not taxable? Gratuity. I'm asking about gratuity.
20 lakhs, sir.
Gratuity 10 lakh. 10 lakh, ma'am. 20 lakh.
Sir, current year.
10 lakh. 10 lakh only, ma'am. It's not changed. 10, yes, ma'am. 20 lakh. Correct. Now it was 20 lakh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Correct only.
So
10 lakh.
transport allowance also no exemption, sir. For
1000,
an or
1000, 1600, ma'am.
actually
As
recently 3,200, I think, sir. Physically
revised, ma'am.
challenged person only they are given exemption, not for normal
3200, ma'am. Physically challenged 3200. Correct.
2,200.
For
Yes,
normal
sir.
1600. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
For normal employee 1600. For physically challenged 3200. Twice, ma'am. That is right only. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
20 lakh.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. 20 lakh. Gratuity, yes, sir. Leave salary.
Maximum.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Leave salary, ma'am. Leave encashment. What is the limit, ma'am? These are all the things I will ask. Leave salary. 3 lakhs. Leave salary 3 lakhs. Maximum limit 3 lakh. Retrench compensation. Retrenchment means you are leaving the job before your superannuation. So 5 lakh. Retrenchment compensation 5 lakh. VRS also 5 lakh. VRS 5 lakh. Provident fund. So for how many types of provident fund? 3 types. SPF, RPF, URPF. Correct, ma'am. Savings, ma'am. Your savings out of the salary. Okay, ma'am. So provident fund means statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, unrecognized provident fund. Okay. Now I'm asking, what is the interest? This is only savings, For the savings, you may receive the interest. So what is the limit for interest? I'm asking. SPF, what is the interest limit? Beyond that, you have to pay tax. For SPF, no limit, ma'am. All the interest are exempted. The interest you are receiving by the way of SPF, it will be exempted. And coming to RPF, recognized provident fund, how much interest is taxable? How much interest is not taxable? What is the limit?
9.5
Okay,
percent.
very good, ma'am. 9.5%.
5%.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Also, for contribution, 12% of salary is exempted, ma'am. Beyond 12% contribution by employer. So you are paying PF, the equal amount will be contributed by the employer also. So the saving component consists of two things. One component will be by the employee out of the salary. Other thing will be the employer, contributed by the employer. In the case of SPF, no problem. It is not taxable. The employer contribution is not taxable. Whereas in the case of RPF, 12% will be exempted. Beyond that, it is taxable. So that is very important. This all the I told 9.5% interest rate I told, and contribution I told 12%. Unrecognized taxable. Whole part is taxable. PPF, as you know, the contribution by the those who are not in the organized sector, that is a salary class, that will be coming in the PPF. So anyone can contribute for the PPF.
Sir, a keynote for unrecognized provident fund, URPF. Give some key points, sir.
URPF are taxable, ma'am. It is taxable. All are taxable. Interest taxable, contribution by the employer taxable, ma'am. Nothing is exempted, ma'am. It is fully taxable, ma'am.
Okay.
For URPF, ma'am. Clear,
Yes,
ma'am?
sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. PPF, as you know, the maturity period 15 years. Perquisites means what? Perks means given in the form of it is only the benefit or service given by employer to his employee. Allowance in the form of cash. Perquisites in the form of service. I'll give you example. Suppose for your meal is giving lunch allowance. It will be in cash. Whereas you will provide the meal. You will provide the meal. Then it will be coming under perks. Even I'll give one more example. For your children's school fees is giving allowance, education allowance. That is in money, in monetary way. But if you're running a school, in that your children studying, the school was operated by your employer under the function of the employer. Then it will be coming in that your student is studying, your people, your son or daughter is studying. So then it will be coming under perks. Okay. So as you know that classification you should know in the given in the form of money that will be coming under allowance, given in the form of service that will like a club bill, water service, gas, cylinder, all are coming under perks. Or even I'll give one more difference. In case HRA, that is allowance. So we pay monthly will be paid with the amount. In your salary component, it will be a part of your allowance. Whereas perks is you will give the quarters. The quarters will be given. The employer will give the quarters to the employee. So that is perquisites. Okay. So under that rent-free accommodation is very important. So I told based on the population, you have to pay the tax for a rent-free house. So this is very important. Kindly note if your population, if you are living in a city where the population is above 25 lakh, 15% of salary. You have to pay 15% of salary. 15% of the salary. So 15, 25. Like that you can keep in your mind. So you can synchronize 15, 25. 15% if the population is 25 lakh. 10, 10. So if the population is above 10 lakh, you have to pay 10% of salary. If the population is below 10 lakh, you have to pay 7.5% as tax. You have to pay the value of the perks is 7.5% of salary. So out of your salary, how much is computed? 15% is computed. If the population is above 25 lakh, the population is above 10 lakh, 10 to 25 lakh, you have to pay 10% of salary. The population is below 10 lakh, you have to pay 7.5% of salary. But one thing I told you, you have to keep in your mind, whenever we are using the word salary, the meaning may differ. In HRA, I told what is salary, what are the things you can consider for the salary, basic, DA enters, commission on turnover. Whereas what is the meaning of the salary here? It is different, I told in entertainment allowance, what is the meaning of the salary? You have to take only the basic salary. So that is a thing you have to understand. So entertainment allowance, I told you have to compute 20% of salary. What is the meaning of the term salary? Basic only. You have to take basic only. No DA, no commission or anything. You have to take only basic only. Whereas in the HRA, I told three component. What is the meaning here? What is the meaning of the term salary in rent-free house? That is very important. Okay, I'll tell. Basic, DA enters, all commission. Very important, all commission. But in HRA, what I told In HRA, I told only commission connect with performance, commission on turnover achieved. But here, all commission, you will take any commission, fees, any fees, plus all taxable allowances. So these are all the things coming under meaning of the salary, exclusively in computation for rent-free house. Again, I'm telling basic DA enters means for retirement benefit. How much DA component taken for retirement benefit, pension, plus bonus, fees, commission, plus all taxable allowances. But here I have to say one more thing. Bonus means what bonus? You should not take gratuitous bonus. Purposely in your examination, they'll give this bonus. So you should not take the gratuitous bonus. You have to take only statutory bonus. You have to take only statutory bonus. So that is very important. No, you should not take gratuitous bonus. So the statutory bonus is 8.33%. So you have to take only statutory limit of bonus. Don't take the additional bonus, gratuitous bonus. So these are the rules. Okay. So population 15 about 25 lakh 15%. 10 lakh about 10 lakh 10%. Below 10 lakh 7.5%. And one more thing I have to add. Suppose I will ask one question. The employer not only giving the house, also is giving the house with a furnished one, TV, refrigerator, almirah, cot, like that. So then what is the value of the house? I told you, no, what is the value of the house? Okay. So what is the value of the house? I told you, no, if it is unfurnished, I told the value 15%, 10%, 7.5%. That's the case maybe based on the population. Add 10% of the furnishing, 10% of the cost, TV 1 lakh into 10%, furniture 50,000 into 10, like that. If it is rented, after renting is providing the facility. If the employer rental, out of the rental is giving the furniture, then you have to add the rental value. The rental value, that is very important. Then you will get the value of the furnished house. So the rule I have to say about a car, motor car. Motor car, two types of car: small car, big car. What is small car? Below 1600 cc cubic capacity. Below 1600 cc, small car. Engine capacity above 1600 cc, big car. But here the rule I have to say, if the car is used for personal purpose, yes, it is fully taxable. If the car is used for official purpose, fully exempted. That you might be knowing. But what about partly used for both? Then you have to know the rule. Then the rule you have to keep in your mind. So 1800 for a small car, 2700 for a big car. So 1800 for a small car, 2400 for a big car. If it is a partial one, you have to keep in your mind. Plus the chauffeur. Chauffeur means a driver. So chauffeur costs 900 per month. So I'm saying only the per month. You have to add the per month cost. So 2400, I told you, no, 2400 for big car. Big car means more than CC. Okay, standard deduction I told. Okay, okay. Salary, this this is okay. Uh, this will be okay. You can manage. The questions I told these are the questions. Uh, what we have discussed with the answers I have given the questions. I told the population. New Delhi. New Delhi means always to about 25 lakh. So what is the answer? 15% of the salary. Just now I told rent free house. 15% of salary. Okay. And income next data rent rental income. Income from house property. So after knowing the taxability limit of salary income, what are the items coming under salary income? Now we are going to see the HP income, house property income. In the case of house property income, you have to know the GAV, very important. GAV means expected rental value, GAV. So in examination, repeatedly they are asking the computation of GAV, a gross annual value. In that only you have to find the net rental value. So gross annual value, then you have to find the NAV. So NAV nothing. If you are deducting the tax, municipality tax, you will get the NAV. So coming to GAV, very important, very important. GAV. How we can compute the GAV? So for GAV, four things you have to take. What are the four things? First, you have to take FRV. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
MRV, FRV,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. FRV, MRV, SRV, ARV, ma'am. Three steps you have to follow, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Again, I'm telling, ma'am. MRV, FRV, SRV, ARV. Municipal taxable value, fair rental value, standard rental value, finally, actual rental value. Actual rent you have received. But I have to say few things regarding actual rental value. But before that, I have to say the steps. Very simple. H, L, H. Higher, lower, higher. So what is the first higher? FRE or MRB, whichever is higher. That will give ERV, expected rental value. So what is the first step? MRB or FRV, whichever is higher. In that higher, you have to compare with the standard rental value, whichever is lower, that is adjusted ERB. In that adjusted ERB, you have to compare the actual rent. In that actual rent, two provisions are available, two deductions are available. What is that? The expenses of the lender, sorry, the expenses of the landlord. That is swimming pool maintenance and common star maintenance, Chaukidar salary. Chaukidar means watchman. Watchman salary, gardener. These are all the expenses allowable deduction in your actual rent. You can reduce those expenses made by the landlord. You can reduce. Also, you can reduce the unrealized rent. What do you mean by unrealized rent? The rent which was not received. So after the due date, you are not receiving the rent. That is unrealized rent. So unrealized rent, the two things can be deducible from the actual rent. One thing, the expenses made by the landlord. I told you, Chaukidar salary, gardener's salary, uh, common star maintenance, lift maintenance, swimming pool maintenance, all are allowable. Also, unrealized rent, you can deduct from the rent. After deduction only, you can compare. What is the first step? Compare. You have to compare FRV, MRV, whichever is higher. That will give ERV. In that ERV, you have to compare SRV. That will give whichever is lower. That will give adjusted ERV. In that expected rental value, adjusted expected rental value, you will compare the actual rent, whichever is higher. That will be your GAV, gross annual value, right? In that GAV, you have to reduce that municipal tax. You will have NAV. Okay. In that NAV, you can deduct the deduction, standard deduction. Section 24, like salary, I told you, know. Section 16, I told standard deduction. And here also, you can have standard deduction. 30% of NAV. 30%. 30% of NAV. Another deduction is your interest. The interest you have paid. The interest you have paid during the current financial year, the interest in the form of housing loan, interest for housing loan, that you have to deduct. Also, you can deduct the PCI. What is PCI? Can you say? I'm using another term, PCI.
Pre-construction, post-construction.
Pre-construction interest, ma'am. Pre-construction interest. So pre-construction, post-construction interest, no problem, ma'am. Straight away you can deduct, ma'am. Post-construction interest, straight away you can deduct. Full amount you can deduct. But pre-construction interest, you have to deduct only 1/5, ma'am.
1/5.
1/5, ma'am. Till your completion, you can deduct, okay, 1/5. This is for lettered property. For self-occupied means what? For your own purpose. You are using the house for
Nil,
your
sir.
own.
Yes.
Nil, ma'am. But only interest will
Self-occupied, it
be
is nil, sir.
nil, ma'am. But the interest will be coming, ma'am. You have to charge only interest, ma'am. Deduction. You can claim the deduction in the form of interest. So that is the reason why at the beginning of my class I told in your letter the answer will be plus the income. But in the self-occupied, the answer will always loss.
Loss.
Always loss. So loss will be your interest payment, ma'am. But in the letter, no limit, ma'am. The interest will be no limit. Whatever may be the interest you are paying to the bank, yes, that you can avail. Whereas in the case of self-occupied, there is a limit, ma'am. 2 lakh only the limit. 2 lakh. You can't avail beyond 2 lakh. So 2 lakh is the limit. So that restriction is that where you can have the restriction in the case of self-occupied. Self-occupied 2 lakh. So these are the things I texted here. I told the section 24. I told FRB, MRB, choice here. Okay. This is a question. Standard deduction I told. Standard deduction 30%. Just now I told 24A, 24B interest payment. Let out no limit. Self-occupied 2 lakh. So rent control act means always lower. So seeing the rent control act, that is rent control act means what? A standard rent. It will be lower. Always you have to see the lower. So standard rent means you have to see the lower. In case of property covered under rent control act, reasonable expected rent would be dash of municipal value. Yes, municipal value or fair rent. So municipal value or fair rent. So in that case, you have to see the higher. MRV or FRV, you have to see the higher only. Okay. Third one is profit and gains. If you are receive any profit or any income in the form of business or profession, that will be coming under profit and gains. So what is the depreciation rate? When I think when I am saying about the income tax at the introduction class, I told. So building 5%, and furniture 10%, plant and machinery, motor car, motor buses, motor car 30%, computer I told. Computer first year 60%, next year 40%. Plant and machinery 15%, general. Intangible asset 25%. So this is the limit. How you can compute the taxable profit? Net profit add disallowable expenses. Very simple. Don't worry about the disallowable expenses. Kindly categorize the allowance into three parts. What is the three part? One is capital expenditure. All capital expenditure like plant, machinery, land, building. All capital expenditure will be disallowed. Next, personal expenses. So if you are paying salary to your son, whether it is allowed or not. So is your son looking after your business, is seeing your business, whether you are paying salary to your son, whether that salary is allowable or not. That is my question. So in the allowable expenses, whether the salary paid to the son allowed or not.
Don't know, sir.
Okay, I'll say, sir. If the son is a regular employee, allowed, sir. It is only allowed. If the son is a casual employer, it is disallowed, sir. And any personal expenses like a car expenses or any pin money. Pin money means household expenses. Pin money means household. So that will be disallowed. All personal expenses are disallowed. Another one, all provisions are disallowed. Provision for income tax, provision for sales tax. All taxes in the form of provision disallowed. But sales tax allowed. Sales tax allowed. Only sales tax allowed. The GST. Only the GST allowed. But all other tax, gift tax, wealth tax, income tax, all the tax will be disallowed. All donations, donation to Prime Minister Relief Fund, donation to earthquake fund, donation to flood fund, all are disallowed, but only one donation allowed. Can you say that? Only one donation only allowed. What is that? But all other donation are disallowed. Even for
Donation
IDF,
to
NAC,
charitable institution.
disallowed, sir. All are disallowed. You will not take as the expenses. All donations are disallowed. Only one donation is allowed as per Income Tax Act 1961. Okay. I will say the only
Prime
one
Minister.
deduction is disallowed only, ma'am. Disallowed. It will not be taken as debiting the expenses, ma'am. It will not debited as expenses, ma'am. Debited means less deduction. It will be disallowed. If you are already debited, it will be credited. Credited means add. Disallowed. It will be disallowed. Prime Minister Relief Fund, Armenia Earthquake Fund, Indira Gandhi Memorial Fund, all are disallowed. Olympic Association Fund, all are disallowed. Only one is allowed. That is family expenditure development fund. Family expenditure, family planning. Family planning fund. So family planning fund is allowed. That too only for company. Only for company. For sole trader, it is disallowed. So family planning donation for the agent, for the agencies who are promoting the family planning, for that donation will be allowed. All other donation will be disallowed. But the donation only for the company assessee. Only for the assessee coming under the category of company, that is allowed. For all other category of assessee, disallowed. So this way you can prefer. That is, all donations are disallowed except family planning donation for corporate companies. Other donations are disallowed. So in this way you can categorize. Don't buy heart. It will be like 40 items. The disallowed items will be 40. Don't buy heart all those things. You can categorize. So first category, personal expenses. Second category, I told capital expenditure. Third category, donation. So
Provisions.
provisions, yes, ma'am. All provisions are disallowed except sales tax. Sales tax is allowed. Sales tax is allowed. Octroi, or income tax, wealth tax, gift tax, or buying of security, share, commission for broker commission for securities. All are disallowed. Those things are coming under other head. It is not coming under your professional head, business head. All are disallowed. So in this way, you can keep the point. Otherwise, if you are by-hearting those things, it will be boring. It will be difficult to keep the items. Okay, so you have to add back all the disallowed expenses and only one allowable expenses. I think it's very easy only. As per depreciation,
Income from other sources.
that is disallowed income, ma'am. You have to minus. I'm saying allowable expenses, ma'am. So allowable expenses, depreciation, bad debts, ma'am. So depreciation, bad debts, allowable expenses, ma'am. You can deduce. You can deduct the allowable expenses. Two things: depreciation and bad debts. Uh, Third one only you are saying, ma'am. Items not coming under this set, that will be deducted, ma'am. Items not coming under this set means what? The HP income, house property income, lottery income, crossword puzzle, betting, all are coming under items not taxable under this set. That you have to deduce, ma'am. That is the last one. I told depreciation, that you can deduct as per depreciation computed as per IT Act 1961. Yes, you can deduct. So finally, we'll get the taxable profit. Taxable profit. So this is a question last year they asked. So which business is audited, compulsory audited? Which profession? So what is the turnover? What is the turnover which is compulsorily audited? So the answer is 50 lakh. The total turnover of your profession is above 50 lakh, then it will be compulsorily audited. So in the last year, they asked the question. Penalties, 50 lakh. If your profession is more than 50 lakh, the turnover is more than 50 lakh, it should be compulsorily audited by a qualified auditor, ICA, CA. Penalty. If you are not auditing the accounts, what is the penalty? 1,50,000. Just now I told if your turnover is above 50 lakh, you have to audit your accounts before filing the return to the government IT. I told 50 lakh turnover. If you are fails to do the audit, 1.5 lakh penalty. Capital gains, I told you two types of gains. One is short-term capital gain, another one is long-term capital gain. But what items not coming under capital gain? Exemptions. Any raw materials, gold, silver, that is a personal effects. Personal effects means you are wearing the uh, gold, so that will be exempted. That will not be coming under capital asset. Aircraft, all are coming under exemption case. It will not coming under capital assets. So this bonds. I told no gold deposit scheme, a stock, raw material, uh, personal goods. I told no personal goods that will not be coming under the capital goods. I told two types of capital assets. One is short term, another one is long term. So shares you have to take only 1 year. Shares folded for if you are possessing the share and securities for 1 year, that is short term. But for other assets, that will be long term. Shares only I am saying. For shares below 12 months short term, above 12 months long term. But for other assets, 2 years. You have to take 2 years. If you are holding the assets for 2 years, that will be short term. Above 2 years, that is a long term. So why you are segregating the short term asset and long term asset? Can you say what is the purpose of segregation of long term asset and short term asset? Why there is a need?
No need to index the values.
Excellent, ma'am. Indexation. Correct, ma'am. Very good. Indexation. In the where you can do the indexation, ma'am?
Long
Long
term,
term, sir.
long term.
Long term. Very good, ma'am. Very good. So that is the purpose. So what is the indexation? The cost of the asset into the indexation, CIE. I told you no from 2010 is a base year. You are taking the base year. So the base year,
2001, sir.
now it's changed,
2000.
ma'am. Now the base was changed. Uh,
Okay, sir.
yes, ma'am. The base was changed. Yes, ma'am. The base year changed, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. 2000 is zero, uh, but now it was changed, ma'am. The base year changed. Okay. So the CAE for the year of selling divided by the CAE for the year of purchase. CAE means the index. The government will the wholesale price index. So there will be cost of inflation index. So it will be notified by the government. That index we have to multiply. The index, the year of sales divided by the year of purchase. But one thing you should know, no indexation for furniture. Even though the furniture used for long term, there will not be any indexation for furniture. Okay, then income from other source. This is a residual income. In this income from other source, what are the questions they will ask? They will ask casual income. They will ask gift tax. They will ask the TDS. TDS means a tax on deduction. Tax deducted as source. So while you are receiving the amount, suppose if you are receiving the interest from the bank, the tax will be deducted. Before payment, the tax will be deducted. Even in salary, no, before receiving the salary, the tax will be deducted. After that, only you will get the salary. So that is TDS, tax deducted as source. Suppose if you are the payer, suppose if you are paying the amount, then that is called as TCS, tax collected as source. collected as source. If you are receiving money, you have to pay tax in the form of TDS. If you are paying money, you have to collect the tax in the form of TCS, tax collected at source. In in GST, these questions will be asked. Section 51 of GST Act 2017, they will ask. GST, okay, I'm touching GST, but GST coming under that legal aspect of business only. But no problem. These are the questions they will ask. So TCS, TDS. So TCS only by the government. If the government is a user, then they will do the TCS. In the case of GST, the TCS done by the government only, not by the any other registered dealer, not by any registered dealer. Okay, so this you should know. TCS, TDS, you should know. Okay, what is the TDS? I have to say for TDS for a dividend and interest. For TDS for dividend and interest, 10%. The TDS will be 10% plus cess 0.4, 10.4. Casual income, I told you, no, casual income in lottery, gambling, crossword puzzle, card game, betting, hostess. What is the TDS rate? Suppose if you are receiving 1 crore as a lottery, you can't get to 1 lakh. Sorry, 1 crore. After deduction of 30 lakhs, 30%. After deduction of 30% only with surcharge, you will receive the casual income 30%. Rent 10%. For rent 10%. So they will ask questions regarding TDS that you should be thorough. Family pension, this will be asked in your examination. Family pension, 15,000 exemption. The deduction will be 15,000. Beyond that, taxable. The dividend by Indian company exempted. The dividend paid by the Indian company is exempted. It is not taxable. It is not taxable. So, dividend issued paid by the only Indian company, not foreign company. So dividend by the Indian company fully exempted from tax. Section 2, subsection 20. So it is fully exempted from tax. And okay, I'm moving into very important one. Up to this juncture, any doubts are there? Shall I move on to the deductions? So I've covered what are the areas very important in the 5 heads. Now after summation of the income from 5 heads, you have to deduct the savings or any expenses. You have to the deductions available. The deduction available in the form of donation 80G, handicapped associate 80U, higher education interest 80E, 80GG. Just now I told rent. If you are rental, you are paying rent, then you can. But provided you should not avail HRA, then you will avail 80GG. Like that, 80CC, 80U. I told 80 TTA. TTA for savings, for interest on savings up to 10,000 exempted from tax. Okay, so shall I move on to the deductions? Any up to this, any difficulties or any
No, sir,
confusion?
anyway.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now I am going to deductions.
Sir,
80.
one question,
Yes,
sir.
please,
Sir,
ma'am.
one question, sir. So professional
Please.
tax in any exemption Any exemption limit or having?
Yes, ma'am. You can
Personal
have.
tax.
Yes, ma'am. Full amount, ma'am. No limit, ma'am. Full amount. So the amount you have paid in the form
2,500
of,
I.
you can avail
Okay.
the amount, ma'am. 2,500 is a limit, ma'am. All the, I think, who are in the as a college teacher, yes, 2,500 will be deducted in two spin. Correct, ma'am. 1,250,
Oh,
1,250. Correct, ma'am. I think you are paying
oh,
professional
okay.
tax. Correct, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Yes, yes,
you are,
that's
yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can avail the benefit, ma'am. You can. It will be
Yes, ma'am.
deduced as per section 16, ma'am. You can list, ma'am. Uh, but no limit,
Okay.
ma'am. For professional tax, no limit. The actual amount paid will
Okay.
be deduced, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No limit.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. So coming to the deduction 80C. So what are the things coming under the 80C? Your contribution for PF, the employee contribution, not the employer. The employee contribution in the form of PPF, RPF, SPF, even URPF, all provident fund can be exempted. Also, the housing principal amount. You are paying housing principal amount, not interest. I told interest component will be coming under other head, that is house property income. That is section 24. But now what I'm saying, the principal component. So the principal EMI component, the principal component, that will be coming under savings 80C. Also, I told the NSC National Savings Certificate, and this Suganya Samriddhi account, that the post office savings Suganya Samriddhi account. You can withdraw the amount after the girl child attaining the age of 21. So after attaining the age of 21, you can withdraw the money. Suganya Samriddhi account, post office savings, and ULIP insurance plan, unit linked insurance plan, ULIP mutual fund. All are coming under savings deposit. And one more thing, the deposit with the nationalized bank, not less than 5 years. That is also available. You can deposit FD, even FD you can avail, but the FD should be 5 years. It should not be less than 5 years. That is very important. So 5 years, yes, you can avail. Tuition fees for two children, no limit. So housing loan repayment, I told housing loan repayment, mutual fund, NABARD bond. You are buying NABARD bond. 5 years, I told. Deposit for 5 years, I told. No, the limit below 5 years you can't avail as savings. Okay. Altogether, up to 21 points, I told. Up to 21 points, I told. Up to 21 items should not be more than 1,50,000 rupees. 1,50,000. That is the limit. Your saving amount will not be exceeding 1,50,000. If it is more than 1,50,000, if it is 2 lakh, they will take only 1,50,000. If it is lesser, yes, they will take the actual amount. 80cc, very important, easy. Pension fund. Pension fund in LIC or any banks. So pension fund, 80cc, 1,50,000. 80ccd pension scheme, central government, like Atal Pension Yojana. That is 80ccd. CCG, equity savings. These are all savings, 25,000. If DD, as you know, if your the assessee's dependent is handicapped, yes, you can avoid without any bills, no bills required. You can avoid up to the extent of 40,000. Sorry, 75,000. You can avoid to the extent of 75,000. If the assessee's dependent is handicapped, 80DD, 75,000. In case for medical treatment, you can avail 40,000. For medical treatment, 45,000. 80D, as you know, 80D, as you know, 80D mediclaim policy. So mediclaim policy, 25,000. Mediclaim, if for a policy for taking policy, mediclaim for medical treatment, 25,000. And for higher education, I told you, no, for higher education, no limit. If you are paying interest for your higher education, no limit. And deduction in respect of loan borrowed for self-occupied house, not rental, self-occupied house. Already I told you, know, 1,50,000. In addition to 1,50,000, you can avail 50,000. So already I told, you know, so 50,000 in addition you can claim under section 80E. So 80E interest on loan for house, that too self-occupied house. That is very important. This provisions in last 23 question paper, this is coming. The provisions they're asking, the banks, the ceiling they're asking. So the value of the house should not be more than 50 lakhs. The land plus the builded value, not more than 50 lakhs. That is the condition. In that case, you can avail additional 50,000 exemption. Donation, I told you, no, for a donation, you have to segregate 3 donation. No limit, with limit, 10% GDA. For availing donation, the deduction may be of 3 categories. No limit, 50% limit, 10% limit, 10% of GDA. So if you are understanding 50% limit, then no limit will be easy. So what is coming under 50%? That Rajiv Gandhi Memorial Trust, Indira Gandhi Foundation, Jawaharlal Nehru donation. So this will be coming under 50%. All other items are coming under 100%. So National Sports Fund, Technology Fund, Armenia Fund, Earthquake Fund, Drought Fund, Prime Minister Fund, all are coming under 100%. 50% I told you, know. Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi. This will be coming under 50%. So other items coming under 100% donation. But 10% of GDA. Your donation should not be more than your income. In that income, 10%. It should not be more than your 10% income. What are the donation? Olympic Association for poor children. It should not be in kind. That is very important. It should not be in kind. It should be in the check. That is very important. Donation for any mosque, temple, church. Yes, that is allowed only. But it should not be in kind. That is very important. Or any historical place, renovation of repair. Yes, allowed only, but not in kind. If it is in kind, disallowed. That will not be availed. You can't avail the donation. So I told you, family planning, Olympic, Indian Olympic Association, for any poor children, donation to any poor children, for any religious place or any archaeological place, archaeological organization. Yes, you can avail, but only 10% of your total income. These are all the things I told, just now I told. Donation in kind, it will not be qualified. If you are giving the donation in kind, not qualified. And donation exceeding 2,000 shall not qualify for such deduction. See, it should be in check up to 2,000 cash allowed. So these are all the questions they will ask. Up to 2000 cash alone. Above 2000, it should be in check, not in the kind of cash. Very important. Okay. 80 GG. 80 GG I told. 80 GG I told. What is 80 GG? What is rule? What is the rule? 25% of your GD. That is the limit for 80 GD. Then uh, okay, HRA, you should not avail the HRA. That is another important one. You should not avail HRA. Very, very important. 80 GGA, this is very important. Kindly note that 80 GGA, GGB, GGC, repeatedly asked. GGB, donation for political party companies. GGC, same donation for the political party, but not by company. Any person, individual. In this way, they will confuse in your examination. 80 GGB, GGC, both are for political party only. By to the INC, Indian National Congress, or any BJP, or any national political party, you are giving a donation. You are giving donation. You are giving donation, but that donation given by individual, that is coming under 80 GGC. If it is given by companies, it is given by companies, it will be GGB. If it is for scientific research, donation to the scientific research, 80 GGA. QQB is for authors of the books. QQB. So limit 3 lakh. Limit 3 lakh. I told TTA. TTA is for interest for savings account. If you are getting interest, yes, you can avail 10,000 as the exemption. 80U, I told handicapped. If assessee is a handicapped, yes, you can avail 75,000. Already I told one deduction 80 DD. 80 DD, that is for dependent, but this is for assessee himself. Assessee himself. Then 80 JJAA. This is for employee cost. Employee cost. So this is for wages. This is for wages. So this deduction will be available for the concerned, the organization employing the employees. So 30% of the cost will be exempted to the 3 years. So clubbing of income is what? What is clubbing of income? If you are adding the income of others, that is known as clubbing of income. I'll give you example. Sometimes in order to avoid the tax, you are shifting the asset to others. So your asset is transferred to your relative. After the income is received, again you are getting back the asset. So in this way, you are mischieving the government. I told the evasion. You are reducing the tax by illegal way. In such case, what happened? They will club the income of others. See, suppose if you are having a building, in that rent is coming. What you are doing in that year, you are shifting the ownership to your daughter-in-law. So it will be shown as income of your daughter-in-law. After that, after a year, again you are transferring the in your name. So that is against the law. That income of your daughter-in-law will be clubbed with the assessee. That is clubbing of income. Clubbing of income means the income of others will be clubbed with the assessee. And for minor income, very important. In the case of minor income, the minor will not be taxed. Suppose a minor is a good artist, or any is having some specialized skill, or is getting any TV show, from TV show is getting some prize. If you say minus, see some shows are there, like super singer, junior super singer, like that. Some shows are there, Suppose is getting price, you will not be taxed. He is a minor, it's not coming under the contract. So he will not be taxed. So in such a case, the income of the minor will be clubbed with the income of the parent, either of the parent, maybe mother or father, either of the parent. But what is the condition? After
Their
clubbing,
income is higher.
ma'am? Hello, ma'am? Either of the parent whose income is higher, either of the parent, maybe mother or father, whose income is higher before clubbing. That is very important. Before clubbing, either of the parent will be charged. But the deduction, 1,500 is the deduction. Out of the minor income, 1,500 is the deduction that you have to understand. Very important one. 1,500 they will ask for. I told for companies, what is the tax? I told 15 percentage, 1 5, 15 percentage. In that, one important question will be asked in your examination that I have to say in the case of so MAT will be asked. So what is that MAT? Minimum alternate tax. So they will not the straight away they will charge the tax, the rate of 18.5%. So don't confuse with the minimum alternate tax, MAT. They will ask, MAT is charged on LLP, companies, HEF, specific company. What is your answer? This is a 22 question only I'm asking. 2022 question. MAT means always for companies. MAT will be applicable for companies. So for a certain companies whose income is lower, if their book profit is lower, then they will charge MAT. So what is your answer? Even I am giving you a clue. So MAT is applicable to HEF, LLP companies, specific companies.
Specific companies, sir.
Specific companies, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So whose income is lower, they will charge the MAT 18.5%. For foreign companies, they will charge 30%. So these are all the deduction. These are the deduction for okay. Deduction for companies. I am saying for companies. So these are all the deductions. Deductions for the companies that you have to understand. That's why I asked, MAT, minimum alternate tax under section 115 JP of Income Tax Act is applicable on for AOP, certain companies, all type of companies. Answer is certain companies only is applicable. MAT, I told for companies. What is the alternate minimum tax? Alternate minimum tax is applicable for minimum alternate tax. I told for alternate minimum tax is applicable for that is also single slab. No, the categories will be there. A single slab. So AMT. So AMT is applicable for individuals. That is applicable for individuals. So again, I'm telling four things will be asked in your examination: tax, evasion, very important. You have to focus your preparation. Tax evasion, tax avoidance, tax management, tax planning. So tax evasion illegal, tax avoidance legal, tax management the savings. In what way you will say put your savings in order to reduce the tax? That is tax management. Tax management, tax planning, the payment of tax. How you will pay the tax? So four things are very very important for your examination. Repeatedly asked. Yes, interest on capital 12%. This is allowed 12%. So four things are these are all the things I told. This I told tax planning, tax avoidance, tax evasion, tax management, tax administration or tax management. Can you say the answer? If you are answering yes, you are having knowledge in the yes, your preparation is good. Or you can catch one point, one answer. I told that is a key. That is a key of answering.
So for the tax administration, it is making suitable arrangement for TDS.
Very good, ma'am. But I told one easy, no, tax evasion means illegal, ma'am. Tax evasion means illegal. Illegal, which is illegal, ma'am.
I'm just trying
Understatement,
to read it. Yeah.
understatement of income, ma'am. In this way, you can able to answer, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Even if you are not able to answer all the four, that key tax evasion. I told illegal, illegal understatement of income, illegal. Suppose if you are getting lottery income 1 crore, but you are filing return only 50 lakh like that, illegal with the filing of return. I told ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 3, ITR 4, Sugam, I told So this liability of tax. So understatement is illegal, ma'am. In this way you can do.
Tax
So,
avoidance is misinterpreting the provisions of the IT Act.
yes, ma'am.
And what is the last one? And tax planning is availing deduction under Section 10A of IT Act.
Ah, one. So 4, 1 tax. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you are told, correct. So tax administration making suitable arrangement for PDS, the payment. The payment. Okay. Yes, yes, ma'am. Your answer is right. Tax planning availing the deduction. Correct, ma'am. Tax planning availing the deduction 80, 10A like that. Availing the deduction. Yes. Tax evasion, I told. Tax evasion, understatement of income. Illegal. Tax avoidance, misinterpreting the provision of IT Act. So tax evasion, illegal. So very important. The carry forward set off. So depreciation, unobserved depreciation carry forward for any year. So if any expenses not able to charged in the same year, it will be carry forward. So my question is the loss on horse races. So loss on horse races will be carried forward for how many years? What is carry forward? Carry forward means what? If the loss is not adjusted, if it is not adjusted with the heads, then it will be carried forward for the next financial year. So first you have to set up. Set up means adjust. If it is not adjusted, it will be carried forward for the next years. So horse races, how many years? you can carry
For 8
forward.
years?
Ours is 4 years, ma'am. HP income only, HP house property loss only 8 years, ma'am.
8 years.
Correct, ma'am? 8 years, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But unabsorbed depreciation, no limit, ma'am. Unabsorbed depreciation, no limit. Discontinued business, loss from the discontinued business, no limit, ma'am. Discontinued business will be adjusted with any head. You can adjust with any head, no limit. So in this way, they will ask. The questions will be simple. On seeing the questions, very easy only, but it should be very, very focused in your answer. This I told you know, PPF 80C, nothing difficult. PPF 80C, infrastructure, NDF, National Defense Fund, profit and gains of CES, Special Economic Zone. But even I couldn't able to answer all the four. I told PPF, RPF, all are coming under 80C. 1D, 1D. Where is 1D? If there is more than D, then you have to search for other things. So 1D and 2 profit and gains, IA. Profit and gains, IA. But also 80G is very easy, nothing difficult. National Defense Fund, Prime Minister Relief Fund, Armenia Fund, Earthquake Fund, I told but only Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund 50%. Other things 100%. I told Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, yes, and Indira Gandhi Memorial Fund, Rajiv Gandhi Memorial Trust, Jawaharlal Nehru Foundation, all are coming under 50%. But National Defense Fund 80G, very easy one. And finally, profit and gains, IAP. Oh, okay. So I told residents with the problem they are asking. With the problem they are asking. So especially I told this gratuity, somebody right answer only you are saying 20 lakh. The limit is 20 lakh. The exemption limit is 20 lakh. Winman software is for filing of return. Winman software that will be used for all. With the software, you can prepare balance sheet, compute the assess the income tax, you can file the return. So with this software, you can do everything. Okay. So if any doubts are there, yes, I'm ready to answer. So I tried to give the overall picture of income tax. Income tax is somewhat a very, very interesting subject. It's nothing difficult. Every, as our constitution, it is a basic one. We should have the knowledge of the income tax. We are paying tax, so we should not rely other for filing of return. So as a commerce, we have to file our return without relying others. So we should know the basic things. So I try to cover the important areas. Maybe the questions will be centered around points that we have discussed now. Still, you are having any doubt? Yes, you can ask in the next class also. I'm ready to answer, but I am very much love this subject. This very, very interesting subject, income tax. Taking class also in reading the provisions, the act. Okay. So in legal aspect of business, it's very, very wider. I told we have to cover the 10 acts, 10 subunits. So that is much wider. But my thing is don't have this 10 units. you can focus only 6 units, the 6 sub-units, the legal aspects of business. That will be okay. Like IT Act. GST is very important. Without GST, you should not uh, go. Very important. Okay. So, any doubts you can, if you are any difficulty in my uh, teaching, you can say. I'm ready to elaborate the answers.
No, sir, fine, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sasi ma'am. So we'll see you tomorrow. And when auditing, we have to touch. I told 3 questions will be asked from auditing, but very very easy only. Nothing difficult. Very easy questions only asked from auditing. Like the just now I told the auditing limit. I told 50 lakh. Like that, the questions will be asked. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. And good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good
Thank
night.
you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.